by cornfields beyond the lumbering locomotive, this story quietly played out behind barbed wire fences until now.
Something's really wrong with him.
How rare is this?
It's extremely rare.
He's so skinny. You can see his bones.
The prognosis has to be terminal.
If he gonna go, I want him to come home and go, not be in there.
For 23-year-old Devin Weathers, it's the final complication of Huntington's disease, death. Locked up for auto theft in Newcastle since early 2007, he was slated for freedom in June.
His release date was miscalculated.
So it's now September. But does he have until September? Devin Weathers' case now front and center. And there's the additional question of care.
The phone calls stopped, letters stopped, no contact.
It was always something for a whole year and a half every time he was at Newcastle.
Newcastle Correctional Facility is run by private firm Geo Incorporated. They would not comment specifically about this story. The family says for 2 years they hadn't a clue. Devin Weathers' letters abruptly halted in April 2007. He'd complained of trouble holding the phone around that time, and then silence. It's unknown when, but Weathers was diagnosed with Huntington's disease, an incurable genetic brain-wasting killer. Hallucinations, uncontrolled movement, part of a litany of symptoms. The mental and physical rigors lead more than 1 in 4 with Huntington's to attempt suicide. Videos on YouTube are a slideshow of vibrance withered away. One comes with a disclaimer, quote, "Warning, this video is very, very sad." 2 years of no contact. Mom finally saw her son.
They had so many guards in the room with us. Because at that time he was still trying to walk. And he wouldn't be still, and his body was jerking. And he kept hollering for food, for food. So my older sister got him, went to get some food for him. And he dropped it off on the floor, and he jumped down the floor and started eating it like a dog. The guard said he drops his tray every day, so some days he don't get no food if he drops his tray.
That was last fall. This month, we got wind of the story and requested to speak with the ailing young man. It was approved. We completed and signed consent forms for our in-prison interview. Then the next day, doctors interceded, saying Weathers is, quote, incapable of giving consent. Doug Garrison with the Department of Corrections. At first, we thought we were going to have the opportunity to speak to Mr. Weathers. Clearly too sick, you're telling us, to even speak to us.
Our medical examiner's judgment that this guy is not capable of making an informed decision to consent or not.
That's sick.
Well, that's sick.
We inquired about the case with Garrison on July 12th. A week after that, July 19th, the process for medical clemency was officially underway. The family thought that process started last year. You were told last year they would file this medical clemency? Mm-hmm. There's seemingly no opposition to a release. Weathers, at the time of his auto theft conviction, well, he was on probation for sexual misconduct with a minor. He was 17, she was 14. We spoke to the victim in that case and her family. They didn't want to be identified, but said, quote, if he's dying, he should be with his mom. Weathers is a story of Huntington's disease, a question of care in the big house, and a question of clemency.
I know he did wrong, but he's deserved his time. If he gonna go, I want him to come home and go, not be in there.
There is here for now.